Good morning. We were discussing on the properties of the pure substances. So that's the topic for this thing. Today we'll try to look at the how we can find the properties for a wet paper. Okay. Suppose for example, we have say for example the total volume of any wet paper. If suppose if V is the total volume of a wet paper, and in that particular mixture I do have certain volume of liquid and certain volume of saturated liquid. Okay, so in that case how I should calculate your this thing. Okay, that means if I want to calculate the specific volume, first one, specific volume of wet paper, how to calculate it. Okay, that means if this is the specific volume of the wet paper, this will be having specific certain amount of volume of fluid plus x into your Vg minus Vf, or I can write the same thing as Vf plus x into Vft. Okay, where how we are going to get it actually? So Vf is the specific volume of the fluid, specific volume of liquid or fluid at that given pressure and temperature. So as I told in the previous class that we will be referencing everything with respect to pressure or temperature. So if the steam tables is based on pressure, or steam table can be based on temperature. So at that particular pressure, so specific volume of liquid at the given pressure and temperature, given pressure and temperature. Okay, then what is it actually? Vg, it is the specific volume of the dry saturated steam. Okay, so specific volume of the dry steam, dry saturated steam at that given pressure and temperature. So this I should able to get it from the steam tables. And what is your x actually? X is the dryness fraction. X is the dryness fraction, which already we have defined it. Okay. Now suppose I want to find the specific volume. Sorry, if I want to find the specific enthalpy of your wet vapor or wet steam. Okay, specific enthalpy. Specific enthalpy of the wet steam. So what is it actually? This will be H is equal to, okay, HF plus X into Hg minus Hf, or Hf plus X into Hfg. That's how I can find it. What is your Hf? Hf is the specific enthalpy of the liquid. Enthalpy of the liquid or the water at the given pressure and temperature. So similarly, Hg is the specific enthalpy of the dry steam, okay, of the dry saturated steam at given pressure and temperature. So this is how you can get. So similarly, so how we can calculate each and everything specific? This is for the specific volume. We have the specific enthalpy. Similarly, specific entropy. Specific entropy. Specific entropy. That is S is equal to, once again, it's a small s actually, Sf plus X into Sg minus Sf, or Sf plus X into Sfg, where your Sf is the specific entropy of the liquid, specific entropy of the liquid at that given pressure and temperature, and Sg is the specific entropy of dry saturated state at the given pressure and temperature. This is how you can find it. What about the internal energy? Okay, if I want to find the internal energy, so internal energy is, I can see if you go back, so what are the internal energy? So specific internal, how we can calculate. So directly you won't get it from your steam tables. Specific internal energy. Okay, if I want to calculate, let us look at the definition of the enthalpy. What is the definition of the enthalpy or equation for enthalpy? H is equal to U plus PV, where H is the specific enthalpy, P is the pressure, V is the specific volume. Or I can write U is equal to H minus PV. So if I know the specific enthalpy, if I know the pressure, if I know the specific volume, I'll be able to calculate your specific internal energy. Okay, I can easily calculate it at any given point. So if I know the enthalpy, okay, that means if I want to calculate U, so I need to calculate the specific enthalpy minus the pressure at which you are calculating your property values and the corresponding, it's something like I want UFG is equal to, or U for that particular point, I can calculate from this particular formula. So there is no, see, some of the books actually, they give that U is equal to UF plus X into UFG. That is a very wrong notation, because you are not getting any internal energy from your steam tables, and UFG is equal to UG from the steam table. It is not available, but you can calculate only by this particular formula. Okay, this is about the properties of the wet paper. What are the things we can find? Only specific enthalpy, specific entropy, and your specific volume, and the last one is the specific internal energy. Now, suppose what will happen if it is a superheated condition? Okay, if it is a superheated condition, so we try to go and take the values from the superheated tables. Okay, we go to superheated tables and try to get it. So it can be corresponding V soup, or it can be corresponding H soup, or it can be corresponding S soup, or it can be corresponding H soup. So I'm going to take all the values from your superheated tables. Okay, but still there are certain formula which we can use it actually. What is it actually? Already we have seen that actually. We'll write that actually. If the condition of the steam, if the condition of the steam, if the condition of the steam is superheated, the condition of the steam is superheated. So we try to look at this thing. One is delta T soup, or the degree of superheat, which is equal to T soup minus T saturation. This is the degree of superheat. Degree of superheat. This is one thing. And suppose I want to calculate your V soup. Okay, because the pressure is constant. So what I'm going to do, V soup by T soup is equal to V saturation by T saturation. Okay, or so I can directly use V soup is equal to T soup into V sat by T saturation. So I can use this formula also. Okay, some of the cases I can use this formula to calculate it. Then to calculate the enthalpy of a superheated condition, H soup. Okay, H soup is equal to enthalpy of the dry condition, that is Hg, plus Cp of the steam, or Cp. We call it as Cp for the superheated condition. This is for Cp superheated condition, or that particular thing. Difference of your degree of super, that is T soup minus T sat. I can use this formula and I can find the enthalpy of, so this is enthalpy of superheated steam. Okay, enthalpy of Superheated steam, I can find it. Okay, then the last one, entropy of the superheated steam. If I want to find it, that will be equal to Sg plus Cp into this. You don't use Cp of the liquid water, you have to use Cp for the steam. Okay, into log of T soup by T sat. This is entropy of superheated steam. Entropy of superheated steam. So like this, you can look into each and everything and we can calculate the quantities. Okay, fine. Now, suppose if I want to find the work done. Okay, so work done means actually it is the, see what is the external work of evaporation? Okay, that formula also will, what is the external work of evaporation? External work of evaporation, sometimes they ask external work of evaporation. So let me use that formula also. So 91, that is works, external work of evaporation. External work of evaporation. Okay, this is equal to your PV. See what is work done actually is integral of PV. So to find this actually, V into your Vg minus Vf. What is the work required to evaporate? Suppose if, for example, if the pressure is very low, so this is for a given pressure, maybe 10 bar or 20 bar. If the pressure is very low, 0.01 bar or maybe 0.09 bar, in that case, Vf will become very, very small. Okay, Vf will become very, very small. Okay, if the condition of the steam is given, so if the condition of the steam is given, so then I have to, so what I need to calculate this with the x, that's it. X will be x into Vf, Vg or Vfg, we should be able to do it. That's how we will be able to calculate your external work. Anyway, internal energy and all already we have described, which is equal to H minus PV. So where V V is nothing but, say, V can be anything. V can be either, it can be for a condition, wet condition, or it can be for super. So what will be the internal energy for a superheated condition? U soup is equal to H soup minus P into V soup. So the same formula can be used for not only for the wet condition, I can use it for the other conditions also. That is your superheated conditions also. So entropy for the wet steam, enthalpy for the wet steam, your specific volume for the wet steam, each and every quantity we can find it. So either from the steam tables or from the your maybe the Moliere chart. Is that clear? So this is about all the definitions, theoretical part from your maybe what we call it as properties of the pure substance. Now let us try to look into some of the numericals. Okay, so I have prepared few numericals. So let me go to that Dropbox. Okay, I'll try to upload this particular thing. Okay. I prepared it tutorial. Actually, this is tutorial 4. Okay. 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 Pure substances. Let's try to take one by one. Let's take the first tutorial, first numerical. Just so everyone, please open your what is called as a steam tables. If you have with you, please open your steam tables. It's a very simple problems. We'll try to understand what is it, all those things. Okay, please open your steam tables. We'll try to do this particular thing. First numerical. Maybe I am expecting answers from your end. Huh? You people will be posing the question, and the answer from should be from your end. Okay. This is a simple question. Okay. State whether the following examples of the steam are wet, dry, or superheated. Okay. So depending upon and justify your answer. So I should be able to simply, you can't tell this is wet steam, this is superheated steam, this is dry steam, all those things. You should go and look into your steam table. This is an exercise to how to look into your steam tables. Okay, steam tables and do it. Okay, let's try to look at the first question, first one. Okay, A. So the solution for the A, I will tell the procedure, you follow this. See, it is actually pressure at 1 megapascal absolute, enthalpy is 2880 kilojoules per kg. So now what you have to do, go to steam tables. From the steam tables, okay, steam tables based on pressure, okay, pressure at 1 megapascals, or if you have the pressure steam tables based on bar, actually go to 10 bar or 1 megapascals and look for these two conditions. One is saturation temperature and saturation enthalpy, or Hg. Look at these two values and tell me. What is saturation temperature?
Tsat is 179.88 degrees C.
Super, 179.88 degrees Celsius. What is enthalpy of a saturation? 2000. Go to Hg condition, Hg.
2776.2.
Okay, super. So 2776.2 kilojoules per kg. Okay, now this is the value. As the given H value, which is 2880 kilojoules per kg, is greater than Hg, which is 2776.2 kilojoules per kg. The condition of the steam is, superheated, because enthalpy is C. The enthalpy of superheated, this is your enthalpy, given enthalpy is greater than your enthalpy of a dry steam. So definitely the steam is in superheated condition. So the condition of the steam, is superheated. You got it? So this is a superheated. The first condition is superheated steam. So still any doubts, other guys? Any doubts? You're able to look into your steam tables and get these values? You want me to go to the steam tables and show you? Okay, I'll do that exercise. I think some of you have this difficulty. I'll go to the steam tables. Okay, fine. So this is the based on pressure. Look at this. This is a 1 megapascals. So what you should do? Go to this. See, go to this 1 megapascals. So I have this particular thing. This is the thing, 1 megapascals. So this thing, and corresponding to that, look at the temperature, 179.89. So doesn't it varies. The decimals, it varies from steam table to steam table. It is 179.89, and go to your Hg. This is your Hg. Okay, let me go here. So this is the what you have to look at. This is enthalpy of the vapor and saturation temperature. You got it? So I'm looking at that column where Hg is 2777. You told 2772.2. So it's just a matter of decimals. It's very okay. This is the enthalpy. What is given? What is the saturation? So you are able to get it from steam tables. But what is given is 2800 and some change. Okay. If you come back over here, given enthalpy is 2880. The steam, what I'm supplying, the condition of steam is 2880. So which is greater than that value. So the dry steam at 10 bar is having an enthalpy of 2776.2. But the given condition of the steam is 2880, as the enthalpy of given steam is greater than this enthalpy of a dry steam. So the condition of the steam should be superheated condition. Why it is actually? So if you look at it, actually, if you look at the dome, so this is how it is actually. If you look at the condition of the steam, okay, that means the steam is not on the dry. See, this is the pressure lines, how it goes actually. So this is somewhere here. Okay, if you look at this enthalpy, if you write an HS diagram or whatever it may be, the enthalpy is here actually. Okay, but if you look at the dry condition, this is Hg, this is H given. Are you getting HS diagram? On the HS diagram, the enthalpy is far greater than your enthalpy of the given this thing. That's why it is in superheated condition. Fine. Now let us look at the second condition. Okay. Second condition is pressure at 500 kilopascals or 5 bar. Okay. Volume is 0.31 meter cube. Okay, 0.31 meter cube. 0.35, sorry, meter cube per kg. It is not this thing. It is meter cube per kg. Okay, that's it's a typo error. Second condition. Okay, second condition. So what is given? It is pressure is 500 kilopascals or, so we have to once again go to the steam tables. Okay, go to the steam tables, look for 5 bar. Okay, okay, once again, see, I'm making you a habit to check for saturation temperature, even though it's not required. So check for saturation temperature at 5 bar and check for specific volume Vg. What is the saturation temperature? Other than Mohit, someone else?
151.8.
Okay, 151.86. 151.86 degrees Celsius. What is your Vg? What is your Vg? That is specific volume of dry steam.
0.37.
Okay, 0.37. Only 2 decimals? 374 meter cube per kg. Okay, now we'll come back to the steam tables. Okay, now if you look at the steam tables, what's happening? If the value of your Vg is maybe what it is? Okay, this one. Okay, it is 0.3748. This is the value what I'm looking at. If the dry specific volume is more, but the given value of specific volume is less, look at this. What's happening? Okay, at the same thing, you look at the saturation temperature, which is 151.84. Okay, I'll go to the superheated conditions, because if you want to understand this, I have to go to superheated tables. Superheated tables at, maybe what I said is actually it is, okay, this is the one. We have to look at this particular thing. Look at this. What are the specific volumes? Okay, what are the specific volumes? The first one are the specific volumes. Okay, the specific volumes is actually is greater, but the given specific volume is how much? Okay, the specific volume will be increasing. See, the specific volume of the dry condition itself is 0.37. If I go and look at this thing, all the specific volumes are more. So if the specific volume is less than the dry condition itself, look at this. Just a cross checking, that's it. I'm trying to cross check. Okay, but the specific volume for this particular condition is 0.5. Okay, okay. The specific volume for this thing is actually 0.3748, but the given specific volume is how much? How much is the given? See, as the given specific volume is 0.35 meter cube per kg, okay, which is less than your Vg. What is the condition of the steam? The condition is wet condition. Condition of the steam is wet. So it is a mixture, that's a wet steam. Look at this. Second condition is a wet steam. So this is to get you people used to how to refer to steam tables. If at every point, please try to look into the saturation temperature. Now the third one is I'm going to your temperature based steam tables. Okay, the third condition. What is it actually? At a temperature of 200 degrees Celsius, T is equal to 200 degrees Celsius. Okay, they are given the entropy. They are given the entropy as 6.88. So the given entropy is 6.88 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. Okay, both for C and D you can go with only one particular thing. Now, what is the temperature? You go to the temperature based table. Okay, go to the temperature at 200 degrees Celsius. You find saturation temperature. Okay, the corresponding pressure and Sg. See what you have to find at this 200 degrees Celsius. Corresponding to that, you find the pressure. So you have to find the pressure and your corresponding Sg. Both the values, can you tell me what is the pressure corresponding to 200 degrees Celsius?
$15.54 bar.
Okay, 15.54 bar. 15.54 bar. What is the entropy for dry steam? Sg?
So 6.4278 kg Kelvin.
6.4278. Look at this. As the given value is greater than, see, this I am able to find out. This is my pressure. This is the pressure what I found it. And this is my entropy value. Okay. Entropy value is 6.4278 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. Okay. As the given value, the given value of S is 6.88 is greater than, okay, the given value of S is greater than your Sg. So the condition is superated. The condition is superated. So it is a superated steam. So the third one is superated. Okay, superated steam. Now look at the same entropy at 100 degrees Celsius. Go to the same thing, instead of 200 degrees Celsius, now come to 100 degrees Celsius. So if the temperature is 100 degrees Celsius and entropy given is 6.88 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. Now look at the pressure for that and corresponding Sg. What is the pressure for that? 1.0?
So 1.01325.
Yes. Yeah, I want to cross check this. This is 1.013 bar, that is atmospheric. Sg?
7.3554.
7.3554 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. See, look at this. Only I am reducing the temperature, entropy remains same. If I simply reduce the temperature, the steam will become wet. Okay. As the given S is less than your Sg, the condition of the steam is wet. Okay, the condition of the steam is, so the condition of the steam is wet. Are you getting? Simple. Entropy value is less than your this thing. Now the last one. Let us look at the last one, which is E. Here I have given the pressure, that is very low pressure. Pressure is equal to 10 kilopascals. Okay, 10 kilopascals. So what is the corresponding bar? If you want it in terms of bar, 0.01 bar. Okay, 10 into 10 to the power of 3. Okay, this is 10 into 10 to the power of 3. So divided by 10 to the power of 4, it is 0.1. Okay, 10,000 divided by 10 to the power of 5. Okay, 1 to the power of 5. So this will be 0.1. So look at the 0.1 bar. Look at the 0.1 bar for this condition. Okay, here I have given the enthalpy, which is 2584 kilojoules per kg. 2584, yes. Now what you have to do here, you have to go and find the corresponding simple saturation temperature. Everywhere I am asking you people to find saturation temperature and Hg.
So 45.83 degrees Celsius.
45.83. 45.83 degrees Celsius. What is the value of Hg?
So 2584.8 kilojoule per kg.
2584.8. Okay, that means they are almost same. So what is it actually? As the given H is almost equal to, almost, that is in decimals only it's varying, is given to the value. So the condition of the steam is dry saturated condition. So the condition of the steam is dry saturated. Like this. So this exercise is to make you people try and go refer to how to refer to the values in your steam tables. Okay, this is the thing. Now the same thing, let us try to do the same example exercise using your Molière chart. Okay, I'll take one problem and I'll give the same exercise for you to how to refer to the Molière diagram. Let me take the problem. Okay. So first if you people get used to referring to the steam tables and the Molière diagram, then doing the other problems is much easier. Okay. Second problem, let me take the second problem. Steam expands, so steam expands isentropically. Okay, paste this. Steam expands isentropically. Okay, steam expands isentropically from 70 bar and 500 degrees Celsius to 20 kilopascals in a steam turbine. Calculate the dryness fraction and enthalpy of the steam after expansion. If the steam flows steadily through the turbine with a mass flow rate of 150 kg per minute. Okay. Determine the turbine work. Okay. If you want to find the turbine work, I think I'm going to use the steady flow energy equation, which I already studied in basic thermodynamics. And draw the TS diagram and show the above process on it. So TS diagram also I can show, and we will try to solve this problem using both steam tables as well as the Molière diagram. Both we'll try to use. So if you want, first let's use the steam tables first, because already you people are getting used to it. Then second part we'll go to see that what is the accuracy level it's changing. Okay, accuracy level, how much it is changing. Okay, let's first try to find the steam table values solution. So this is the what they are given actually. So it expands from a pressure, let me call that as P1. Okay, this is P1, which is 70 bar, and T1 is equal to 500 degrees Celsius, and T2 is equal to 20 kilopascals. Okay, so the mass flow rate, they are given it as 150 kg per minute. So they're asking us to find, okay, they're asking us to find, one is the dryness fraction, the second one is enthalpy of the steam after expansion, that is your H2 or whatever it may be. Okay, the third one is the turbine work, okay, the W. These three things I'm supposed to find. First, let's try to draw the TS diagram, okay, represent it on the TS diagram. So this is my temperature, and this is a very simple sketch actually, TS diagram. So I should show some two pressures. This is my P1, they are diverging, okay, they are expanding isentropically from point 1, that is 1 to point 2. So vertical line, simple vertical line from 1 to 2, it's expanding. This is my P1, this is my P2. Okay, so P1 is 70 bar and P2 is 20 kilopascals, or 20 divided by 10 to the power 5, it is 0.2 bar. 7 bar to your 0.2 bar, it's what I mean. Now let us try to solve this problem using steam tables. So let me call it as case 1 or case 1 using only steam tables. Okay. Now go to your steam tables corresponding to the pressure. So if the pressure is corresponding the pressure P1 is equal to 70 bar, tell these values. Go to that, tell me these values. So what is my saturation temperature? Tsat. It should be in and around 290 or something, 270 or 280 or something like that. It can't be 500. I know. 285.8 8 Celsius, which is less than your given value of T1 is equal to 500 degrees Celsius. So what is the condition of the steam now? As the given temperature is greater than your saturation temperature, the condition of the steam is superheated. Okay. As T1 is greater than your Tsat, the steam is superheated. This is superheated steam. So what you have to go? Now you have to go to superheated tables. Go to superheated tables corresponding to 70 bar and 500 degrees Celsius. Getting? So let me go to that steam tables. Okay, I'll go to my ASME steam tables. Go to superheated steam tables. Okay, go to superheated steam tables corresponding to 70 bar. So here I have in megapascals, I have to go to 7 megapascals. I have to go to 7 megapascals. So this is what I have. So I'm going to 7 megapascals. So saturation is 285.85. So corresponding to this column, look at this 500 degrees Celsius. You have to find all the three values you note down. V soup, which is 0.0482. So these are the values what you have to look into. Then your H soup is 3411.3 here. Okay, then your entropy value is 6.7997. Are you getting? So you have to go to your superheated steam tables, go to the pressure of 70 bar or 7 megapascals, and go to the degree Celsius, that is superheated temperature, which is 500 degrees Celsius. In that you note down the values of three values. One is superheated specific volume, superheated enthalpy, and superheated entropy. Maybe in the decimals it may change. Or getting, note down the values what you people are going to tell. So any clarifications? Is this fine? Shall I go back? Okay, fine. Now tell me the values. I'm expecting the values from you. Okay, from super tables. So I want V soup, okay, H soup, and S soup. All the three values. What is V soup?
So 0.048086.
0.04806.
8086. Yes, 80.
80. Okay, fine. Now what is H soup? 3000? 411. What I saw?
3410.6.
Okay, no problem. That will, I told no, it will vary from decimal to decimal. So I will take the values what you people write. 300410.6. What is S soup?
6.7993.
6.7993 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. Okay. So now, see, what is the expansion? See, if I try to put the dome here, see, this is the dome, what I'm going to put actually. If I try to put the dome, this is the dome actually. If I try to put the dome, this is in superheated condition and 2 is in wet condition. Okay. Now I need to find the, I don't know, I need to find a dryness fraction here. But your S1, see, entropy, if at any given point, if you go down like this, your entropy S1 is equal to S2. Okay, S1 is equal to S2. Okay, the entropy remains constant. So before I do all this exercise, let us go to what pressure corresponding to the point 2. So now go back to the steam tables. At a pressure P2 is equal to is 20 kilopascals or 0.2 bar. Okay, corresponding to your steam tables at 0.2 bar, tell the values. What are the values I want here? I want the values of HF2, Hg2, okay, and SF2 and Sg2. These 4 values I want. And the corresponding saturation temperature also, if you want, you can note down. Otherwise, leave it. What is HF2? It's a very low value, around 250 or 240 will be there. How much?
So 251.5.
251.5. 251.5 kilojoules per kg. What is Hg2?
So 2609.9.
2609.9 kilojoules per kg. What is SF2?
So 0.8321.
8321 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. What is Sg2?
7.9094.
7.9094 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. So I got the steam tables. I got the values from the steam tables corresponding to both the conditions. Now, see, as the process is, as the expansion is isentropic, as the expansion is isentropic, as the expansion is isentropic, entropy at 1 is equal to entropy at 2. What is entropy at 1? Entropy at 1 is actually this value. Entropy at 1 is equal to entropy of the superheated steam. What is entropy at 2? Entropy at 2 is equal to, it's a wet condition. Okay, so this is actually is equal to superheated entropy. This will be equal to SF2 plus X into Sg2 minus SF2. As the N2 is same, I'm going to equate it. Now, what is this S soup? Actually, 6.7993. 6.7993. So, this is actually X2 because the condition at 2. So, SF2 is 0.8321 plus X2 is equal to, so X2 into 7.9094 minus 0.8321. So from this, I am going to get the condition of the steam, X2. I am going to get the condition of the steam, X2, somewhere around 0.8 or 0.85 or it will be. Can you tell the value?
So 0.8431.
Okay, 0.84, that's fine. 0.84, no units. It's a decimal. Okay, so one particular value we are supposed to find. So now we have to find X, then we have to find enthalpy. So enthalpy at condition 2. Okay, enthalpy at the exit. So enthalpy at 2, that is at the exit. Enthalpy at 2 is given by H2 is equal to HF2 plus X2 into Hg2 minus HF2. Or if you directly, if you're getting HFG, directly you can put HFG also, which is difference of Hg minus HF2. So I go with the very regular one. So if you want to go faster, directly you can get HFG. So it is not available in most of the steam tables, but very few steam tables will be having that. So HF2 is actually, just now before we got it, it is 251.5. 251.5 plus, so X2 just now we found it is 0.84 into Hd is 2609.9, 2609, okay, 609.9 minus 251.5. So I am going to get H2 is equal to, so which will be less than 2609, which should be less than that. How much? 2200 or 300, somewhere around that it will be.
So 2232.56.
Okay, fine. 2232.56 kilojoules per kg. So we got two things. What is the third quantity we are supposed to find? We are supposed to find the work done. So from the SFEE, from the steady flow energy equation, what are the energy equation? So we have this Q dot plus M dot into, so H1 plus V1 square by 2 plus G into Z1 is equal to M dot into H2 plus V2 by 2 plus G into Z2 plus your work done. So this is the expression what we have already derived in your undergraduate course. So your heat loss is equal to 0 here, and if delta kinetic energy and delta potential energy is equal to 0. With that condition, this will get cancelled, this will get cancelled, this will get cancelled. I am left with only your work done is equal to, mass flow rate into H1 minus H2. Okay, now mass flow rate they are given it as 150 kg per minute. I have to convert it to kg per second. So I have to divide it by 60. So 150 divided by 60 into H1 is just now we got it 3410.6. 3410.6, and H2 we have found it is 2232.56 kilojoules per kg, so kg per second. So I'm going to get directly in terms of kilowatts. Can you tell me
So 2945.1.
2945 kilowatts. So this is the value of your the work done or power required. What